this is really logging in. This is really the virtual home base. This is the hub of InStream. You know, when an advisor logs in, this is their dashboard, and immediately, really, what you can see is kind of a snapshot view of their book of business. Kind of see here segmented by clients, prospects, and leads. And then the user trends section kind of feeds off of this idea of bringing together a community of advisors and gathering trends and best practices both within the firm with respect to how folks are planning or saving or spending or constructing plans, and what does that look like, again, both within the firm and within the community of InStream. So that's really the idea behind trends and analytics, is taking some of that business intelligence, taking some of those, best practices that are out there within the wealth management firms and aggregating that into this user trend section. The heart and soul of InStream has always really been the alerts section, and the genesis behind the alerts and the idea behind alerts is really helping advisors prioritize what they need to do on a day-to-day basis so they can really be ahead of that client's need. Or kind of the way that I thought about it when Alex and I spoke is that there's really that moment of need for a client, whether it be they may need to re-up their policy on life insurance, become insured for more, or their financial plan is out of whack, their percentage of success has fallen below a certain threshold. What the alerts do is they give you a heads up, really, essentially as soon as it happens, so that you can reach out with a meaningful, relevant, timely update that will really kind of drive a stronger bond between the client and the advisor. And so, we'll use an example here that we saw within Peter Thompson's plan, or I should say profile here, is that, we see the retirement plan fell below the threshold of 61%. And if we actually go into this, we can see that we've tracked this plan, Andy, so that whenever that success probability falls below 65 or even above 90, we want to be alerted. This is an opportunity that we can either just reevaluate the plan itself or potentially reach out to the client and have a conversation with the client about their specific plan. So everything within the plan is really easy to set up, whether you're creating it or reevaluating the plan itself. We've got all of this information stored within the kind of this data locker we call the client profile section here. So you can see that the kind of Thompson family organized here. You can see that this is where you would enter in various incomes, accounts, insurance, properties and so forth, things that would really roll up and aggregate into a net worth statement. And obviously, like a traditional goals-based plan, here's the opportunity where you can come in and enter in a specific plan, whether it's related to a retirement goal or an education goal, something like a bequest for legacy. This is where you would enter these in. Important area for the advisor as well is this alert generator section, where they can see what are they going to be alerted when something happens, when a plan falls below a certain threshold, or if there's a milestone. Again, if there's a son or daughter of the family who's graduating from high school, stock options are vesting, it allows them to be alerted. One of the new features, Andy, is the custom reports. And we'll go in here and see actually what the plan output looks like. And clients, advisors come here can change the look and feel of the actual plan, but we'll go ahead and view it now. And you can see it's got a much different, vibrant, modern look and feel to it. And you can see we've organized it through here. And so I just kind of wanted to touch on here what this looks like. But here again, a very straightforward 10 to 12 page plan that's going to really be able to resonate with that end client. And an advisor is able to facilitate really a much more relevant, practical conversation with that client. In the calculators here, Andy, we've got a whole slew of wealth management calculators. Again, a lot of these can be tracked just like the plans themselves because of changes in portfolio values or goals for whatever reason. If a particular client is over or underinsured by a certain amount, which you can classify here, then you'll get an alert on that. And again, it gives you the opportunity as an advisor to have a real, a proactive, meaningful conversation. This is obviously where all the alerts will be stored for a particular client. And we'll hop in now to kind of, again, two of the latest releases that revolve around mind maps and document management. And this is really a an interesting area for advisors who want to take a look at that client profile, family profile, in a way that the client kind of see it all laid out at once and have a better idea of again, what that looks like from a 30,000-foot view. What are my goals? What is the network? Who are potential other advisors that are involved in my wealth management relationship? So directly integrated in InStream now are mind maps. You can bring in accounts, and those are brought over, and we can see again, expand those out, Andy. And all of this information will be updated as it's updated in the InStream application itself. It'll float all the updated information, whether it's through an integration with, say, TD or Orion or Redtail. As soon as this information is updated, it will be updated in the mind map itself. And you can come in here and save various templates, different forms, structures of how you want to lay out the mind map. This is really a powerful area, one of the areas that advisors asked us to look into when we were thinking about building in new features and capabilities into the program. And then lastly, document management. I mean, this is obviously an area that a lot of advisors are focusing their effort towards, and with respect to kind of reevaluating their technology systems and how, their workflow and how they're organizing documents. And so within InStream, we now have an integrated, robust document management system. I've gone ahead and kind of preloaded some documents in there. This one, for example, you can see just a brochure that I put in here. And what's pretty cool, you can come in here and do tags, different versions, see the details of that, and really see any real document that you want to put in there, photos, what have you. And probably, the most, really an industry first in what we just released, Andy, is when we brought on Wade Pfau in July, it is in the process of helping us design and build a few new financial planning modules. But the one that was just released about a week ago was the Safe Savings Rate Plan. And this is the first wealth management / planning platform to incorporate this idea of a safe savings rate plan. What it is it really brings the planning experience or the planning equation together, and then it really allows the advisor and the client to have a conversation about what they can do both in the pre- and post-retirement kind of stage of the process in terms of how can they better or increase their chances of meeting their goals in the future. And so Wade's won multiple awards on this research, and we thought it was a phenomenal idea to be able to apply this research and apply some of the innovation that's out there in general in the financial planning field and build that into an application and a tool that advisors can use directly with clients. So kind of here we have an example of a client who we built this out for, Walter White, who's 50 years old now, and at age 68, they're looking to retire with an annual income of $80,000 per year. And what we can do is we can say, well, okay, what accounts are we going to use to fund that? Just like the goals-based plan, we can go in here and use a glide path allocation, both for pre-retirement and post-retirement. And advisors can come in here and create custom model portfolios. They can create custom glide paths and enter these right in there to save them time. And then again, the safe savings rate, research and ideas, how much of my income should I be saving? How much of my salary should I be saving so that I can achieve this goal that I have in mind of $80,000 per year? And what we've done, we've go ahead and click on update here, and we can see at a 95% expected level of probability here for success, Andy. It's telling us that we need to be able to save 13% of our income on a yearly basis. So this is a real powerful tool for advisors that can have that conversation and say, hey, you can be in control of this, and help your chances of, reaching your goals by actually saving a certain percentage of your income, in tandem with, investing wisely, along the way as well.
And Andy, what this does is, if you really think about it, the safe savings rate is a true, you wrote about it a few weeks ago, Andy, but it really is turning planning on its head, these sort of distribution management rules, and viewing goals-based planning as not just the Monte Carlo, but really a holistic pre- and post-retirement, where, a large contributory factor on somebody's success in the Monte Carlo is really the market movement a couple of years before their retirement. This allows us to put the guardrails in effect once the distribution happens. And so much like the research from Begnan and company, with the help of Wade, we were able to put in the guardrails where the advisor can make it bespoke to whatever their needs are. So once the distributions begin to take place, those guardrails are in place, much along the lines of the literature that's out there, and no one is doing this at all. And so what we've done is, with the savings rate, take a step back, it's essentially the inverse of the sustainable withdrawal rate when you're in pre-retirement. And so for pre-retirees, mass affluent, and folks along those demographics, the safe savings rate, one could argue, is actually a more effective planning tool to help somebody guide them through retirement, because somebody that's 30 years away, 20 years away, 10 years away from retirement, it's very tough for them to tell the advisor that, 2 years into retirement they're going to want to vote. A better way of giving them proper advice is letting them know that, saving at least 13% of your income has allowed you in any time period to be able to spend such and such into retirement. And that's what this accomplishes, which is, in and of itself, an extension of where the current state-of-the-art is. And the reporting of that is actually quite simple as well. Lee, you may want to take it away and give the sample report.
Yeah, with that distribution level of $80,000 per year, really what this is saying again, that actual amount that you're going to be saving here is $23,000, your first year savings amount. And then obviously it's showing your distribution, the median annual distribution, in the future here.
And Andy, just to add to Lee's point, and to your article a few weeks back, I mean, what you've been seeing over the last 10 years or so are real progressions in the financial planning literature. And, the current systems have been in somewhat of a homeostasis and from a goals-based Monte Carlo approach, but really, it's just a matter of time, and, you're beginning to see a signaling of new types of planning that are beyond cash flow, that are beyond, frankly, goals-based Monte Carlo that have to do with safe savings rate. Now, this will lead to the sustainable withdrawal rate planning that we'll have coming out soon. And this is the foundation for all of that soon enough. But as you can see, the time is now for this approach, and we're very proud to be the first ones to release this in this manner.
No, but just getting back to this trends area, I mean, this is kind of, again, really a powerful area of how, you think about this for larger advisor enterprises when they want to be able to see kind of how their advisors are planning. How many of their advisors have a plan for their clients? How many of those advisors who do have a plan are actually tracking that plan? So there's kind of a business oversight, business management aspect to trends and analytics that's built in here that I think will drive and bring a lot of value for, larger, advisor enterprises, even advisors with 4, 5, 6-man shops who have teams, and they kind of want to see, again, what's going on, or what are some of the trends that are emerging within those relationships, kind of whether it be kind of a saving pattern, a spending pattern, what folks are targeting in the way of a certain withdrawal rate or a level of income in retirement. So that's really what this trends area is really built on, and will be continued to be built on going.
Lee, so Andy did make an introduction between
no,
Wade and myself.
I wanted to hear Lee credit you with that.
No, I actually had no idea. I mean, no, of course Alex would take credit for that, but I mean, I don't know. I saw it this summer when I was still at Dimensional, and I said, that's a familiar model, one that I've experienced for the last 4 years in bringing academics into the business side. So
actually, that we are taking a page out of DFA. Here, Andy, check it out on the business intelligence. How you can now get across the board what's going on. More of that formalization of institutionalizing the planning.
We've actually pulled up trends now, and really what this trends function is it's really showing you in intelligence and analytics around, what do the demographics of your clients look like here, for example. Within your client base, what are the different accounts that you're managing? You take it even a step further.
Yeah, this would be, if people say that they have niches. You hear all the time, have women niches. Well, sometimes you'd be surprised how many advisors don't know from a planning perspective who they are really planning for. It helps you be able to tell somebody in a prospecting meeting that 80% of my clients are women of which I have plans for, and they have a success rate of 85%. So my efficacy for women when it comes to planning is very good. Demographic information is good just because it lays out who are you really providing advice for and how effective are you with regards to the advice that you're providing. But when you go to the plans piece and the plans and alerts, here now I can really get a sense of, every advisor says that we help clients achieve their objectives. Well, how many of your clients have plans in place? How many of them don't? You know, for the ones that don't, maybe you should click on that green and figure out who are the clients you don't have plans for and start planning away. If you're a firm owner and you're overseeing advisors, and this is one of my advisors, you know, what I can go reach out to them and say is, hey, you have 3 clients that you need plans for. Bill Welch, Steve Peters, and Steve Patterson. Get on it, man. So it allows you to also oversee, you know, the type of business management that you want for your firm, in addition for an advisor just trying to figure out. You know, at the beginning of the new year, I'm sure within McLean, what we did last year was figure out, okay, who do we have plans for, who do we don't? And we used InStream to help us get us there. Goals distribution. Click on that one, Lee. What types of goals do I have across my client base? Is there some focus within my firm that I'm not aware of? You know, am I really specializing in retirement planning? Am I really an education specializer? Do I really specialize in clients that want to leave things behind? I don't know that. This is what Wade wants to get at this database and begin to you know, provide information on this. No one's done this. I don't know why, but this is really where it should go. Yeah. And statistics. You know, this is where you get the sense of, okay, let's say I have a new club prospect. And you can read, you know, funded ratios and things like that, but at the end of the day, on average, what do my people retire on? What do they want to live off of retirement? And here, average retirement goal amount, the 4th one down, hey, it's about $120,000, $115,000. That allows me to check things out. Even though I have plans for everybody, only 42% of them have tracking plans. Why is that? That means that there's 58% of clients that I should be more on top of. You know, plans that are within tolerance. Of all the plans that I have, only 12% of them are realistic. That's a huge number. You follow? And so that's something that a lot of tools right now, they're on a one-on-one basis. And the only way I can see that is if I go to each individual client. But all of a sudden, I can see it across my whole book. And that's just fundamental. Leave this page here. Here I can see where I stand relative to other advisors within the firm or relative to other advisors within InStream. And so you can see how this could play out in gamification, in just, you know, in just being a better advisor, just being able to know this stuff. Making sense, Andy? Yeah, exactly. And so that's what we have out there altogether. The alert is how do you manage your firm by exception. Same thing, you know, what do I have to be doing from a planning standpoint? Now, these aren't alerts like how you have in the CRM, which is, hey, the client letter needed to go out yesterday, that type of thing. These are alerts relative to financial planning issues. And so, to me, think of this as rebalancing for financial planning, essentially. What I rebow and Cheryl's firm does for, you know, rebalancing, we do for financial planning. And you may want to also touch upon very briefly here, Lee, the admin role and the team functionality, because something else that's missing with a lot of financial planning pieces is, or wealth, see, I don't think of this as a financial planning tool, but really a wealth management platform. As you can see, it's beyond just an analytic. It's really how you can run your firm and execute wealth management. And that requires us to instill team approaches and working with the client with teams. You know, we can essentially segment clients and then assign groups to them, and you can begin to deal with clients on a project management basis and not necessarily just a one-off basis.
We can bring in, you know, within InStream, we can segment various clients. You can categorize them however you wish. You can create a segment name, high net worth, mass affluent. You can add your own custom rules for those and say, you know, the mass affluent are between 500,000 and $1 million. My high net worth clients are between, you know, $1 million and $2 million and so forth. You know, really customizing those and create segmentation for those clients.
And create alerts off of that.
And then taking it a step further here, we can build up, you know, build out teams. So, you know, advisor teams, they're going to manage a certain segment of clients. So we just built out some examples here. So, you know, you can see here who is on the platinum team. What advisors, you know, are working with platinum clients. Well, we can see that here. And those clients that are assigned to the platinum category here, Andy, you know, we can list those as well. And so if you want to continue to add more, you know, we can go in here, select clients, search for a client, bring these in to different teams.
And then once you segment them, you can you can have sort of preordained alerts.
Service levels.
Segments.
Yeah, to serve. You can define service levels. Yeah.
Exactly, but follow. The service level is from a wealth management perspective now. It's not necessarily just from an accounting standpoint, like who are the most profitable clients. It's now, I'm a firm that's $500 million, $1 billion, whatever, under AUM, and I have a segment, and I have different segments, and I want a mass affluent segment, and I want an ultra-high net worth segment, and that determines you need different service levels for that from a planning standpoint. Bam, here you have it. And so it's really beginning to extend that practice management piece to a wealth management perspective.